Yo guys, what is going on? It's your boy Fxtch here, back with a brand new YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys exactly what I think is the best stretch resolution for Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 4. So what I'm going to be doing is actually comparing 3 resolutions, and at the end, I'm going to conclude and tell you what I personally think is the best. For each resolution I mention, I'm going to be giving advantages and disadvantages, and basically all will just be concluded, and then you can go out your way and make a decision. And then after that, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips as to how you can actually set up your stretch resolution in a better way. I can assure a lot of you are doing it wrong, so you'll learn that in this video as well. And you know, if you go ahead to enjoy the video, the least you can do for me is drop a like. It really does support the channel. I set a like goal in my last video, 250 likes, and I'm pretty sure we smashed it in the first 24 hours. So let's do the exact same in this video. We're gonna do 250 likes. I think that's what we're gonna stick at. I know we can do it, guys. Literally 250 likes. If you're listening to this, just drop a like right now. Slap the like button, silly. You can help me achieve this. Depending on if we get it before, it could be a record. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can also subscribe to the channel with post notifications turned on. But yeah, that's enough talking. Let's hop straight into the video. Now, before we actually get into things, I do just want to start this by saying everything mentioned in this video is morally subjective. So at the end of the day, you can go out your way and make these decisions yourself. This video is kind of just me giving my personal opinion and basically what I think is the best stretch resolution out of all the ones I'm going to mention. So before I get a ton of comments saying, oh, it's all subjective, it's personal choice, la 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 la, there isn't a best stretch resolution. Performance-wise, I guess there isn't. There's some that can really come close, and obviously the more you scale down your resolution, that can give more performance increase. But in some way, yeah, you're right. It is just opinion. But that's why I'm telling you guys this now. This video is a guide, so please don't leave them annoying comments. But yeah, I just thought I'd clear that up. That only goes for a few of you. And now I think the way we just literally get into this would just be to mention the first resolution you could be using. This one actually isn't a stretch resolution. Kind of defeats the purpose of the video. I'm probably going to name the title like custom resolution instead. The rest are stretch resolutions, don't worry. This is actually an alternative for you guys who kind of like the native feel, like just the way native looks, but you do want to get that performance increase. And it's going to be 1280 by 720. Now this resolution you can choose directly in your Fortnite, so like as you load up, it's actually an option. So you have 1920 by 1080, you have 1600 by 900, and then you have 1280 by 720. The reason this resolution basically gives you performance increase is because you're downscaling down to 720p. So that's basically what your quality is going to be set at. So you know, 1920 by 1080, that's 1080p, 1600 by 900, that's 900p, and then 1280 by 720 is 720p. So think of it as kind of a YouTube video. You know, when you downscale the quality, you can do it on this video right now. Like as you're watching, you can go down to 720p and then go back to 1080. This is going to kind of be the difference you're seeing within Fortnite. Now it won't be 100% accurate. You'll actually downscale a little bit more. I think like the difference will be more predominant, but you should get the gist of it just by doing that. And yeah, like your game is still gonna look pretty good. Like 720p isn't all that bad. Like you can watch a video in 720p and it isn't like the be all or end all. Like it still is watchable, it's viewable, you can enjoy a video on that quality. And this is like Fortnite, like it's still gonna be enjoyable. It's gonna be just a little bit more downscaled than it would be on a stretch resolution, and for the most part you're still gonna have an enjoyable playing experience, and now you're also going to get that performance increase and an FPS boost. And trust me, when it gets to things like endgame, this difference in performance is going to be so worth it. So yeah, not really much more I want to discuss on that resolution, but it's definitely something you should try out if you do want to stick towards the whole native side. And now moving on to my next res, it's going to be 1856 by 1080. So not much downscaling is going to be done here. Like your quality will look a little bit worse. This is where you get your performance increase. And also obviously this is the stretch resolution, so your game is going to be horizontally stretched, which in some way it's going to improve your aim. Like people can say that's placebo, but like overall your character model is getting stretched, which in turn can improve your aim. Like your character model in some way is bigger. So yeah, a potential accuracy improvement with this as well. And yeah, this is kind of like the stretch resolution you go to if you don't want too much of a stretch resolution. Like you still want your game to just generally look good, but you also want to have that feel of stretch resolution and just something a little bit different. Like this is perfect. It's like the perfect balance. I don't see enough people talking about this resolution, but 1856 by 1080 is super good. Like honestly, I used to use this myself. And also if you're a content creator out there, like usually you want to stick with something that looks good for your viewers. So a lot of content creators are actually using 1920 by 1080, so they're actually using native. And yeah, this is another option, 1856 by 1080. It's like not too stretched to a point where if you're streaming or creating content or a YouTube video, like for the most part people will just adapt to it. Like at a point they just won't even notice it, and it's not going to throw people off your video or your content. So if you're a content creator out there but also play competitive or want that advantage in game, like this is great to use. But yeah, the third and final resolution on my list has to be 722 by 1070. Now this resolution is for you guys that want to go further downscale, and it's also for you guys that want more stretch resolution, more horizontal stretch, potentially more opportunity to hit your shots. You know, the character models are more wider, they're stretched. Maybe this can improve your aim a little bit more than 1856 can. But all round, this resolution is absolutely crazy. Probably the best stretch resolution there is, in my opinion. So if you want a good resolution, I can recommend this straight off the bat. Like, all the pros who used it. I know Bucke Stretch specifically were hiding this stretch resolution right here. Like, I don't know if you remember, I think it was actually nearly 4 months ago now, around summertime. Like, time flies. But yeah, I think 4 months ago, all the pros were actually hiding a stretch resolution. Everyone wanted this stretch resolution. All pros kind of made a deal to keep this a secret. No one was going to leak it, and eventually word got out. This was the resolution right here, 7022 by 1070. And why do you think these pros hit it? This literally gives you all around great performance. You get a nice looking stretch resolution, which I guess you can say isn't too stretched. But yeah, there's not really much to talk about in this resolution anymore. Just trust me, it's all around the best resolution you can use. Like I've mentioned exactly why. I think you get the picture here. Again, it's all subjective, personal opinions, all of that. But I've made so many stretch resolution videos on my channel. Like, it's insane. I kind of grew my channel. A lot of my channel grew off that stuff. I've tried so many, and this just overall seemed to fit the best. Like, there's obviously more to this when all the pros are using it out of any other resolution. So yeah, that's just the way I think about it. So I guess that's also my conclusion right there. If you're gonna go away from this video and use any resolution, it is the one I just mentioned. And now guys, I've explained all of that stuff, and now I'm gonna give you guys some tips on how you can actually use stretch resolution correctly. So the first one would be display scaling. Now you may think you know everything about display scaling, you may think you're display scaling, but the way you can actually check if you 100% are, like, you've done it correctly, you're display scaling your resolution, that would be to actually go down here to your search bar and type in display. Then you should get display settings come up right here. You want to click onto that, scroll down until you see advanced display settings, click onto this, and then basically desktop resolution and active signal resolution. Basically, if these two resolutions right here do not match up, I'm pretty sure that means you're GPU scaling, or you are at least definitely not display scaling, which is very, very bad. And now the way you can display scaling, or at least double check just that one more time, would be to right click your desktop and go onto your NVIDIA control panel. Yeah, once you're in here, you want to go to adjust desktop size and position. And as you can see, I'm actually GPU scaling. It does say GPU scaling. I only have the GPU scaling option. So this will be the same for some of you guys. If you can only see GPU in here, don't worry whatsoever. Basically, the monitor I'm using, I have unfortunately a BenQ monitor, which isn't bad. I have 144 Hz. It's a decent, like, overall decent monitor. But basically, you won't have the option because BenQ monitors, or at least my monitor, won't actually have a display scaler. So mine doesn't support display scaling. So I'm on GPU. But just say yours does, it probably will. What you want to do when using stretch resolution is make sure your scaling mode is first of all set to full screen. And when you perform scaling, you want to perform scaling on display. So basically just select display right here. Now the reason you want to do that is because GPU scaling actually induces input lag onto the render pipeline, whereas the display scaling module just basically doesn't do that. So you won't get any input lag, and I guess in some way, if you were using GPU before, you are now going to reduce your input lag just by changing this right here to display. And yeah, it's kind of that simple. You just want to make sure you are display scaling. Super easy. And now moving on to the next tip is something you want to do in your game user settings. So you want to go down to your search bar right here, type in run, click on this, % local app data, %, press OK. You want to find Fortnite game, saved, config, Windows client, right click this, go down to properties, make sure your attributes down here, read only is unticked, therefore you can make changes, apply, OK. Now go into this notepad, you can open it with, I guess, anything, as long as you can make changes and tweak some stuff. What you want to do is scroll all the way down until you see scalability groups, and right here your resolution quality, you want to set this to 83%. Now before I actually get on and I just explain that, here's actually where you change your resolution in the traditional way. So I guess if you want to change your stretch resolution, this is the traditional way to do it. So I'm not going to demonstrate how to do it in this video, but you know, you go into here, you change basically absolutely everything which is resolved around resolutions. You'll also then go to your control panel, change it there, and yeah, that's kind of your stretch resolution set. But that's the traditional way to do it. Now if you actually want to change your stretch resolution, I actually recommend you use CRU, which is an abbreviation for custom resolution utility. It's actually an application you can use, which is basically the newer and best way to use a custom resolution, because with Fortnite, when using a lower resolution, so custom resolution, stretch resolution, anything I've mentioned in this video, your game will actually force put you onto GPU scaling. So CRU, what that does is it forces your game to basically display scale. So it forces display scaling onto your Fortnite and will cut completely that input lag. So yeah, just make sure you are using that. I'll make a video on it tomorrow. Thought I'll just quickly mention that. That probably sounded really boring and complicated, but just basically wait till tomorrow's video if you're gonna do this. And now my second tip, I guess, or third tip now, would be resolution quality, as I was about to mention before I spoke all about that. But resolution quality, you want to set this to 83%. Now the reason you want to do this It's because 83%, or at least setting its value to 83 over 100, like in your game user settings, what this will do is it downscales your game even more, like even more than the stretch resolution. So this is the equivalent to downscaling to 1600 by 900. So this will further make your game look honestly just a little worse, which in turn will give you an FPS boost. Now your game's still gonna look good. You're gonna get the horizontal stretch resolution now with this, but you're gonna get maybe 10 to 15 more frames, so more FPS, which is very good. And why I'm here, I'm gonna show you the next tip. I weren't actually gonna mention it in this video, but it's actually super beneficial. So I know the video is gonna be long, but this will help you guys out. So what you're gonna do is now go to your drive. So find wherever Fortnite is installed. Mine's on my C drive right here. I'm gonna go to my C drive. Why I'm here, I wanna find Fortnite. So usually it'll be in program files. Mine's literally right here. So you wanna find the Fortnite folder. Yours should be in your program files, but mine's right here. So I'm gonna go Fortnite game, binaries, Win64, and then you wanna scroll down until you see Fortnite client -Win64 shipping. You now wanna right click this and go to properties. When you're here, you wanna go to compatibility, tab over, and now what you wanna do is actually tick these two boxes, disable full screen optimizations, and also run the program as administrator. Now disabling full screen optimizations will actually give you real full screen in Fortnite. Like it's too complicated to get into, but this will give you true full screen for Fortnite. Like basically without this, there's some things that get in the way of that, so you wanna have it ticked. If you wanna actually learn about this, a guy called Fxtch, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. He does a ton of Windows optimizations for gaming. He basically recommends you do enable this feature right here. He made like a whole video on it, like talking about custom resolutions in Fortnite, and this is a big thing you want to take on. Once you do that, you want to press apply and then press OK. And yeah guys, that is it for the video. Like literally, that's a video. I'm pretty sure this was very long. Hopefully my editor can cut this down to a good size, but I try to go in depth, explain the resolutions, give you what you need to know, like a few tips. Tomorrow I'll probably drop a video on how you can actually set up custom resolutions, so keep an eye out for that. I know I already mentioned this, but if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe, do that good stuff, therefore you never miss an upload on the channel. Make sure notifications are turned on for that. I hope everyone has an amazing day. It's been your boy Fxtch, and yeah, peace.